As presumptive Democratic nominee, Joe Biden stands accused of sexual assault by a former staffer. PBS NewsHour spoke to dozens of other former staffers for their thoughts on the accusations. 74 former Biden staffers told PBS that while Biden was known to be an oblivious toucher, the former Delaware senator was a fair and family-oriented boss who was committed to gender equality in his office. Until Tara Reade's accusations, which Biden denies, none of the interviewees said that they had heard of Biden engaging in sexual misconduct, but former staffers said they believed Reade should be heard and acknowledged that their experiences do not disprove her accusations. PBS NewsHour senior political reporter Daniel Bush joins me now to talk more about this. He's one of the reporters behind that article looking into the broader picture of Biden's behavior toward women over the course of his career. I want to thank you very much, Daniel, for joining us and the incredible reporting, talking to more than 70 people to put this together. You and your partner reached out to nearly 200 former Biden staffers throughout his career. What did the 74 people tell you about the former boss and about Tara Reade?
Thanks for having me, Reena. That's right. My colleague Lisa Desjardins and I reached out to almost 200 former Biden staffers. These were people across the spectrum, junior age like Reade, who had worked for Biden maybe for a year or two, to senior advisors who'd been with the then senator for many years, from the beginning of his career in Washington all the way through his vice presidency. And as you noted, to a person, Reena, these former staffers all said that they themselves had never experienced sexual misconduct of any kind by Biden. They'd never been made to feel uncomfortable, nor had they heard of any rumors of sexual misconduct of any kind by Biden. Now, at the same time, as you noted, they did say that this was something that was well known about Biden, that he was someone who it touches people when he speaks with them, gives out hugs liberally and shoulder rubs and so on, but that they felt that it wasn't sexual in nature, wasn't gender-based, that was just how he expressed sort of empathy and communication when he speaks to staffers sort of throughout his public life.
What have Reade and her attorney said about these claims that were made about her firing, that you guys have reported on?
That's right. So we spoke with one former Biden staffer who worked in his Senate office at the same time as Reade, who says that she was let go. She was pushed out of her job essentially because of a performance issue, because at the time her main duty was handling constituent mail. She was not doing that adequately. Reade, of course, has said publicly that she was forced out after she filed a complaint against Biden. Now, her attorney told us that this idea that she was pushed out because performance was not true. Her attorney, Doug Wichter, did say, look, she was traumatized by this event. It may be that her performance on the job did slip a little bit, but that's not why, in the end, she was fired.
So where does that really leave, Daniel, these accusations that she's making post your reporting at this point?
That's such a good question, Reena. Look, at this point, we have Reade's account. She is standing by her story. It has changed a little bit over time. We have Biden, who has categorically denied that this happened. And we have a lot of people who have worked with him over the years who told my colleague Lisa and I and other news outlets as well that this is just not something that they see Biden doing, that he was in many ways at the forefront of championing, empowering women in his office. It's important to note that the people we spoke with did say just because they had positive experiences doesn't mean that that proves that what Reade is claiming happened didn't happen. But right now it's sort of a he said, she said, and we're going to watch to see sort of how much this continues to be a drag, if at all, on Biden's candidacy.
This article also briefly touches on a list of creepy male senators that female staffers told each other to avoid in the Capitol Hill elevators. Tell us a little bit about this list, who was on it, and is there any credence to this? So
at the time that this allegation took place, Reade says that Biden sexually assaulted her. This was a different moment on Capitol Hill than what we see now. There were senators who were well known for groping female staff, putting their arms around female staff. This was at a time when Brock Adams had to leave the Senate after he was accused of numerous sexual crimes. This was a list of people that women, female staffers told us they knew to avoid, in elevators and other sort of private confined space on Capitol Hill. The list included Strom Thurmond, Ted Kennedy, and others who female staffers just knew, yeah, I don't want to be on an elevator again with that person. And it was commonplace that these men felt liberally that they could touch women often in ways that they did not feel comfortable with.
It was fascinating reporting, talking to almost 200 people looking into Tara Reade allegations. I want to thank you, Daniel Bush, for joining us and sharing that reporting.
Thanks for having me.